Looking at the trading week beginning August 31st, we're going to start by watching yields again. Yields were headed lower on the week, and then after Fed Chair Kevin Warsh's speech at Jackson Hole on Friday morning, the front end rallied double digits. Warsh told the crowd at Jackson Hole that summer inflation prints were better than expected, but underlying trends haven't improved. PCE is plus 3.7% against a fixed 2% target. Financial conditions aren't restrictive, and the economy is resilient. The Fed has work to do, according to the chair, if prices don't move toward target at sufficient speed. He rejected forward guidance, raising September hike odds and sending the two-year yields up over 10 basis points. After his speech, the probability of a rate hike at the September Fed meeting went from 34% to 57%, and that's the first time since late July the probability of a hike was higher than the probability of a hold. The main event data-wise comes Friday morning with the August jobs report. This is the number most likely to set the tone heading into the Fed meeting later in September. Expectations are for payroll growth to slow from July while the unemployment rate stays near recent levels. A stronger than expected report keeps the Fed's hike or hold stance alive and could pressure both gold and treasuries. A weak report would likely produce the opposite reaction, but remember, July core PCE was still hot, so one soft employment report is not going to erase the inflation story by itself. Crude oil is also worth watching, with WTI in the low 80s and the Iran-Oman talks over the Strait of Hormuz still creating a potential supply wildcard. Looking ahead to earnings next week, 44 companies with market caps over $1 billion are reporting, including Broadcom, Palo Alto Networks, Dell Technologies, Hewlett-Packard, Ciena Corp, NetApp, Zscaler, Snowflake, and Medtronic. Economic data next week. Sunday, we get Chinese manufacturing PMI. Monday, we get German CPI and Chicago PMI, followed that evening by China's Caixin manufacturing PMI. Tuesday, we get Eurozone and UK CPI, while in the US, we get small business PMI, ISM PMI, and JOLTS job openings. That evening, we get an interest rate decision from the Reserve Bank of Australia. Wednesday, we get an interest rate decision from the Bank of Canada, while in the US, we get ADP monthly employment change, factory orders, and the Fed's Beige Book. Thursday, we get jobless claims, unit labor costs, non-farm productivity, and a speech from Fed Governor, Christopher Waller. Surprised we're getting a speech, so I stumbled. Friday, we get German factory orders, UK construction PMI, and in the US, the August non-farm payrolls report from the BLS that I already discussed.